people in the back, we're ready to do the prelude. Here she comes. Well, the words are easy to this one. If you want to join us in singing, I would love that. The words are, God is in everything I see. God is wherever I may be. God, and there they are. And we just repeat that over and over. Here's the intro. 1, 2, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Cole, and I'd like to welcome you to our Unity Center of Cedar Rapids. We appreciate your presence here in our spiritual home and the energy that you bring to this community. Thank you so much for joining us. We also want to welcome our live streamers and invite you to know that we are connected heart to heart and soul to soul. Please know that we are here to support you on your spiritual journey. We would like to extend a warm welcome to all of our guests today. Inside your welcome brochure, you'll find a guest survey. Please fill it out and place it in the offertory basket near the end of our service. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you again. Welcome. Today, our guest speaker is our very own Chris Klostermann. Definitely something special for Father's Day. Chris has been a member of Unity CR since April of 2012 and is the proud father of twins, Ethan and Allison, who teach him every day that the path to oneness can come in pairs. He is also happily married to Lisa, who continually teaches him that when he's deciding between the both and the answer will always be yes. So thank you for joining us, Chris. And now it's time to send our children off to youth ministry. Let's bless our children together. We love you, we bless you, we behold the light in you.
walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Now, I realized I skipped a slide, so I apologize. I do also want to welcome today, we have some great music. Our musicians today, our guest is Chance Maynard. And Chance is back today joining our UCR band, Nina Swanson, Angela Doodley, Tom Zimmerman, Don Oliver, and Ben Fashionpar. Now, please stand for our invocation and opening song.
There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in me. God the good, God the good, God the good,
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And now I would like to ask our board president, Kevin Krumvita, and Greg McGaffick to come forward for our ministry minute to talk to you about our building and maintenance team.
the building.
Good morning. My name is Greg.
And my name is Kevin, and we're
Maintenance Brothers. Hey, I just want to say, we do the interior maintenance. That is fixing the light bulbs, light switches, playing with your toilets, simple stuff like that. And yeah, but today, over the weekend, we have a major little problem. We have no hot water on the other side of the building. There appears to be a major leak that may be under the cement foundation. So bear with us as we try to figure that out.
he's going to hammer and chisel, and I'm going to watch him.
I'm the slave here.
So, this is the maintenance log. If you see something that needs to be done, go ahead and put it in this log. And I'm going to show you all these pages of things.
What year did that maintenance log start?
That started in 2023, Barbara. By the way, before we go any further, there's our building. See how nicely we keep it up? Anyway, I want to give a little honor to Frank and Barbara, who are past maintenance people here. Would you stand up and get a nice round of applause for your work? And we've also had a little help. Tom Bootsmiller has helped us out a little bit. He's in the back. Give him a round of applause. And Marty Witters, who's not here today. But anyhow, as you can see, these are all the entries since 2023, and nearly every one of these is done. So we've been busy. All right, so what we'd like is, if any of you are into do-it-yourself, and you feel like you could help us out, we'd sure glad to have you on the team. Anything else?
Nope, that covers it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Greg. And like they said, if you see anything that you feel needs to be addressed from a maintenance perspective, please put it in the log and let them know. We appreciate all that you are doing to help keep our facility beautiful and running. Unfortunately, as they mentioned, we did on Friday discover a water leak in the new side of the building. So just please be aware that the hot water has been turned off in the community room side, and that does include the bathrooms on the community room side as well as the kitchen. The cold water still works. The hot water works over here on this side as well. So the sanctuary side luckily is not affected, but just be aware of that, please. On to other announcements. After service today, the events team will meet in the strong room to plan summer outings and the annual picnic. As always, we will have coffee and connections and sacred ground and books after service as well. Next weekend, our minister of record, Reverend Glenda Walden, will be here in town in person. On Saturday, she will be leading a workshop, Unlocking Your Potential, A Path to Conscious Living and Leading. Please take a moment right now to sign up by scanning the QR code on the screen. You can also use the sign-up links that were in your e-news or under the events section of the UCR app or at our website, unitycr.org. While you're doing that, here is Reverend Glenda's description of the workshop. How would you like to improve your relationships, enhance your effectiveness, and experience less stress and more joy? Then join us as we explore the core concepts of conscious living and leadership. Together, we'll uncover the unconscious patterns and embrace a more fear-to-trust-based approach for greater personal and professional fulfillment. based on the work of the Conscious Leadership Group and the book, The 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership. Reverend Glenda will also be our Sunday speaker next week. We will have a brunch and time to chat and informally talk to and get to know more about Reverend Glenda. Then the Spirit Space book study, there we go, continues for one more week, followed by a 2-week break, because it is the summer. Our discussions will begin after that on July 10th with a new book, Understanding Your Soul, The Channeled Wisdom of Jesus, by Christine M. Bush, which is available in Sacred Grounds and Books. Also, please mark your calendars. You can actually go ahead, get your phones out right now if you'd like. We will have a community meeting and a brunch after service on Sunday, July 13th. That'll be a time to just kind of review where we've been for the last 6 months now that we're halfway through the fiscal year and provide updates on some key projects. Also, if you have a prayer request today, our prayer partner today is Barb Buchanan. Thank you, Barb. And you can meet in the prayer room after service. Now it's time for a congregational song.
You can stay seated for the beginning of this, and then Chance is going to sing it through once, and then we're going to sing it with him. So.
There's a light that shines in this room. There's a presence I can feel in this place. There's a spirit moving through us, alive in every face. It's the very light of God. There's a light that shines in this room, and we live and move in its glow. In this moment there's a oneness, the truth of who we are. We are the light, the very light of God. We are the light, the very light of God.
Let's all stand.
There's a light that shines in this room. There's a presence I can feel in this place. There's a spirit moving through us, alive in every face. It's the very light of God. Light that shines in this room, and we live and move in its glow. In this moment there's a oneness, the truth of who we are. We are the light, the very light of God. We are the light, the very light of God.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Please join me in our statement of purpose. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We gather to create an experience of spirit. At Unity CR, we offer practical teachings that empower abundant and meaningful living. Right where you are, we endeavor to provide a variety of ways to support your path of spiritual living. Our mission is to provide spiritual awareness and share in the wonder and joy of God's love. The daily word for today is Father's love. Let's read the affirmation together, please. I bless those special ones who have shown me Father's love. A father's love is like no other. It gives me the warm feeling of protection and gentle guidance, and inspires me to live up to its example. Father's love takes many forms. It might mean helping with homework, coaching sports, and teaching of all kinds. It might mean the wise counsel and loving guidance that prepares children to be self-sufficient and ready for the freedom and responsibilities of adulthood. A father's love may come from many earthly sources. No matter who showed me this love, its origin was divine. God is at the heart of all fathers' love. I pray that all fathers and father figures feel the appreciation of those they teach, love, and protect. May they know the love of God as they have brought it into the world. And the Bible verse is, Father, make known to your children your faithfulness. Isaiah chapter 38, verse 19.
That was the right key, no. Ready? So we do want you to join us on the choruses on this song too,
Oh, I've heard 1,000 stories of what they think you're like, but I've heard the tender whisper of love in the dead of night, and you tell me that you're pleased and that I'm never alone. You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. Oh, and I've seen many searching for answers far and wide, but I know we're searching for answers. Only you provide, 'cause you know just what we need before we say a word. You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am, because you are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways to us, because you are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways to hardly speak. Peace so unexplainable, I can hardly think as you call me. Deeper still as you call me. Deeper still as you call me. Deeper still into love. Love, love, you're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good
You are
Father.
perfect in
It's
all
who you
of
are.
your ways.
It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you.
Perfect in
It's who
all
I
of
am.
your ways.
It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father.
All right, we're getting ourselves set up over here, decamped. All the volume good. This is my first time using a lapel mic, so I'm just every good and everybody can hear. Okay. Well, good morning. And let me tell you what happens when you show up to Unity without a bow tie. My talk is parenting the both and so, sorry, rookie mistake. We are going to talk about the pitfalls of the either or, and then the wonderment that is the both and. But because of the bow tie issue, we're going to start with the both and. So I love it, and this will come back up in my talk, but I decided to try something a little bit different. Normally, I will wear a bow tie, because how many times do you get a chance to wear a bow tie? And so it's fun. But today I thought, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to wear a sport coat. And as I was welcomed in here, I learned that you're either going to wear a bow tie, or you're going to be told, better wear it next time. I'm sitting here saying to myself, I can give a talk both in a sport coat and a bow tie, but we'll see how this goes. Thank you. But greetings, and it is a true honor, as always, to speak with you again, and on this Father's Day, no less. There's no greater celebration for me on this Father's Day, or to commemorate Father's Day, than to be able to do some act of service, to serve in some way. So I hope this small act of service for me can help someone, anyone, reflect upon their own truth and discern some usefulness for themselves. Now, a few caveats, reminders, ground rules, potential warnings and or frames that will be used or useful before we proceed. First, quick asides. I do this with my students all the time, and I actually learned this from professional speech coaching at Grantonwood AEA. They say that if you get used to giving certain messages from certain areas of a platform or an area that you're talking, the minute you move into that area, the audience can subconsciously anticipate what you're going to say next. So I've got some planned quick asides, and everybody will hopefully know what's going on. Now, when I do that in front of my high school students, they're all like, oh, hey, here it comes. They've already gone through a couple minutes of a lecture, and about 2 minutes is about what we can shoot for. But the minute I stand over for a quick aside, then they're like, and there's another minute. So be warned about that. Also, as I've said before in the other opportunities that I've had to give talks, my talks are always the advice, like all advice, that I myself want to hear. So just as I said that to me, this is a sacred bit of service I can give to you, there is a selfish component to it. As I was preparing this talk, just like all the rest of my talks, this is about things that I need myself to remember and to keep putting forth. And so, lastly, the last reminder is I do not take myself seriously, but I do take the responsibility delivering the message seriously. As such, I have the best intentions for this talk, but I do not profess to be an authority or for people to take my words as anything other than insights from a fellow traveler. So, let's begin with a little bit of the both and. And on Father's Day, let's start with a dad joke. So, these two electric wind turbines, they're in a field together, and in Iowa we see them a whole bunch. And one turns to the other and says, well, what music do you like? And the other said, well, I'm really just a big metal fan. So that is a good example. Dad jokes in general are a good example of the both and. You can be both pretty dumb and funny at the same time. Now, other people may argue with that. But if I can go to the next slide, please. Yep, there's the either or. And then there's the both and. People would say, like, no, dad jokes, well, they've got some work to be left. You know, I don't find them humorous, or there may be another option that people can tell. But it is this binary that we see all over the place. It, for me, is true error thought, and it is pervasive in society. So what I want to do at this portion of the talk is just basically like a funnel. Start out pretty wide and pretty global, and then we'll narrow down into how this shows up, especially the both and, in our daily lives, and then in parenting, fathering in some ways, and hopefully with a few takeaways to leave you with. So, like I said, this either-or thinking is pervasive in our society. It is based on a premise of zero sum, all or nothing. Either this happens or this happens. That the resources or salvation is out there somewhere. That we ourselves are not co-creators, which then helps us or enable or pushes us down in a certain way into perpetuating our feelings of lack. And we can point to a million examples of this. For me, I see it in two main areas for myself and in the world that I inhabit, with our 24-hour news cycles and with how social media is designed, engineered for our attention economy. So what I'm saying, myself included, is that we have to always be cognizant that all of society, especially in these two areas, that we interact with, drives us to the outer edges, to the out theres, the extremes. Like I said, in our attention economy. So we have a bucket of a 24-hour news cycle that needs to be filled. And if the more we can fill it and the more we can have people pay attention to it, the more money obviously is made by selling advertising and all of that. But what then sells? Well, as we know, negative stories or just negative like interactions in general sweep like wildfire. It travels and goes viral very quick, and people getting disturbed or getting angry pay attention longer. Then when we look at social media, it's all driven by algorithms. And so our algorithmic-driven social media platforms operate to keep us hooked by endlessly scrolling. There's no end. It reminds me of the joke from a Friends episode where Joey has just come back into the apartment, and this is the late 90s, where he said, "I just read the internet." And at that point, I didn't think it was very funny. And then as the years have gone on, I've realized, no, that was probably the last time you could. 1996, where you said, yeah, I pretty much have it now. And now we're well beyond that. So the endless scrolling and exposing us to more and more extreme content so we don't turn away keeps us in this either-or tribalistic mindset. And that's by design. We've got the 24 hours to fill. In addition, and this was something that came up as I was researching for this talk that I hadn't thought about, but it fit for me, and it fits in regards to this, is the cruelty by which these algorithms also divide us into two camps of those who are happy and what's wrong with us. And that is also, like I said, very insidious because, we as people would like to be happy, but we are never shown that because we are ourselves. We're the ones looking at the screen. So we see the happy people, but then what we are left with is all of this doubt of like, okay, but I'm not that, or I'm not experiencing that, so what is wrong? And our American culture, I would say, also eschews us into being happy, and if we're not, that if we feel sad, it must mean that we're broken in some way. So this comes up to a podcast I had listened to months ago called The Gray Area with host Sean Illing, and he had as a guest philosopher Mariana Alessandri, who wrote the book Night Vision, Seeing Ourselves Through Dark Moods. And she asserts that we shouldn't repress our darker moods, that they can actually help us to discern where our happiness has gone off to hide. To highlight that the conversation shouldn't be either sadness or happiness, she brings up the difference and the nuances with Stoic thought and Aristotle's insights. So, Stoic philosophy, like everything else online, often gets drained of its nuance, and many people looking at Stoicism may come away with the idea that emotions are to be controlled, that if you feel sad, that's your problem. To Mariana, that is the brokenness story. You are either okay or happy, or you are broken. She leans more towards Aristotle, for he is much, much kinder to our own humanity, in her opinion. The Stoics don't leave room for luck, she says, and view other outside factors of privilege or hardship as indifferent, since they can neither be good or bad or controlled. But yet, that is part of our context. That context does mean something. So Aristotle basically asserts that you don't have to fix your emotions. There's no either good emotions or bad emotions, but instead we can ask, what are we likely to feel? He is basing his understanding on the idea that we have predispositions. We're wired in some ways to lean a certain way or not, or that we've got our environment also acting in on us and letting those predispositions come alive a little bit or be awakened a little bit. But then his third but most important condition is the active conditions. For him, that is our behavior. So we can ask ourselves, what are we likely to feel? And then, how should we behave knowing that? So he says we should act beautifully in light of any provocation. All right. So as a quick aside, this also keys into part of another talk that I was fortunate to give where we were exploring George Saunders' quote, "Kindness is the only non-delusional response to the human condition. And that is something I continue to think about, especially in our time now. So knowing that, for what it's worth, helps me to understand that our truth shines through us. Our behavior, now we're switching back to the both and, our behavior is both a response to an outer stimuli and an opportunity to live out our divine nature. I also see a distinct lack of both and in our conversations. And there's always the usual suspects to blame, but to live for even one day in the petri dish of high school shows you viscerally where the art of conversation has eroded. So for myself, I have often been left, especially this past school year, with, okay, what happened to the idea that we both, as two people having a conversation, can share something of ourselves, and we can learn something about each other through listening. For me, and it's something that I began to just organically coach in group discussions, but then also, in just interactions that I know I've been a part of, where I'm saying, okay, what can I learn from this person? What can I gain as insights or a further understanding of the path that they've walked through my listening? And what can I share? That's the beauty of the give and take. Both parties win. What I see most of the time, and what, again, I'm trying to kind of coach around, is that people come in for whatever reasons, especially young people, and it's either I get to speak or I have to listen. And that's a subtle shift, but it negates this idea that, oh my gosh, something cool can happen and I can gain from that. And I've seen that also in just other interactions in my life, that like I take, umbrage is too fancy of a word, irritation is too strong of a word, but I just realize it's a lost opportunity when I understand, even for myself, when I'm not being a very good listener and my mind is going other different directions, where I can say, look, wait, I don't know when or if I'm going to have the same moment with this person. I got to lock in, to use a kid term, which I actually like, and see what's there. What can I still be a part of? How can I be present? And then that part is going to come next. And the parts that I did love, the students that I knew each and every day that walked in, I was like, okay, I'm going to look forward to teaching them. At its core was because they lived subconsciously a both and of like, I can both be myself, share something that I have learned, an experience that I've had, and I can gain something, to know that it's a two-way street, however they came to that truth. And so that has been really joyful. Now, as a quick aside, I'm going to say with all the love in my heart, you folks at Unity here, my spiritual community that I happen to be very grateful to be a part of, are overwhelming in this capacity. Ever since I started coming in the winter of 2011, and like it was said, became my family and I became members in 2012. The openness with which you greet everyone, including myself, does overload the circuits for me a little bit. I would like to sometimes either just sneak in and receive and learn, or I need to learn and teach myself to take a couple of deep breaths before I come into the doors, because the greetings and the hugs and the genuine interest in what I'm going through in my life, I can't thank you enough, but at times, I'm just going to be honest, it is a bit intense for somebody who is more kind of leaning towards the introverted, ambivert side of things, but that's not bad. Don't change. It's not a you problem. It's a me problem. But it was something that brought forth, because I saw where it was lacking, largely because of what I knew it was like when it exists. And so that's what I wanted to call out. So now, this goes into the parenting part. It's Father's Day. I knew I had the title, and you saw the picture up there. That was the kids and myself taking our end of the school year photo. That Hawaiian shirt is special to me because my wife and I, well, she got the matching skirt. I got the shirt when we were in Hawaii over 20 plus years ago. And that is the shirt I wear on the last day of school and have for like 23 years. So because that picture is shown, we got to like steer it towards parenting. There we go. I can tell you guaranteed who's the happiest one in that photo. No contest. So, parenting the both and. I had come across this bit of advice that really helped me in my fatherly journey with twins. And then I was able to like share this advice because I was asked, you know, all advice, even when it's asked for, is advice you know yourself you want to like hear again. So hence we've covered that ground before. But Kyle and Lindsay Wilhelm, when they were expecting their first son, they asked, okay, what is some parenting advice? And this is what I told them because it was what helped me. You can take your kids grocery shopping. That is fine. And you can have a list and you can be a little crunched for time. That is normal. And what also is normal is your kid will also want to see something just like unique and cool to them 3 aisles over, but you have no intention of going down that aisle. And so I learned, and it bore out, that little kid attention spans are miraculously short, and that's okay. You can use that. So if they want to show you something that's cool to them, go. All you're losing is about 12 seconds. And for myself, it avoided so many confrontations and tugs of war of like, no, we got to do this, but no, I want to go see this and all of this. And so, not that I'm perfect in any way, shape, or form of parenting, but with Ethan and Allie, whenever they had something cool that they wanted to see, I knew I can be 12 seconds late to whatever the thing is that I need to go to. And more often than not, it'll be something that I haven't yet experienced. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. I didn't see that. Oh my gosh, that's cool. And let's talk about that. And there, again, we delve right back into the both end of the conversation. You know, I should know some things, but they can show some things that I have never considered. And I wouldn't have known that had I not be able to go into that both and mindset of both I can get my list done, and I'm an inveterate list maker and doer, and they can show me what's neat around the bend. So that's what I come to. Parenting at its most fundamental level, and that which can be done by anyone, comes about by focused presence, by simply being there. And so how do we parent the both and? By being kind to ourselves and our journey as divine beings having a human experience. That we can have a million worries, or we could be planning the next steps, but that it is vital to be present. We can both be present and have concerns over the future. All right, last one. As a quick aside, this was one of those talks where I found way too much information, and it was about the whittling instead of the creation. And so hopefully I have picked the best parts, but as I'm like outlining, okay, what am I going to keep? What's the order going to be in? Alice, 17 years old, going to be 17 years old real soon. Oh my gosh. She came down and she said, Dan, I want to get a little bit more used to driving the truck. It's a big vehicle, and she rarely asks me for anything. And I was like, oh, what? Okay, all right, no problem. And I take the book, one of the books that I'll share with you, and I slam it down on the desk, and boom, out we go. I'm like, okay, I can both write a talk, and I can help Allie when she requests something of me, which is getting rarer and rarer and rarer. So I'm like, I'm taking every opportunity. So we did that. It was good. And then when we come back in, I had the book. It was this one, and I had it face down. And my daughter, ever the book lover, said, Dad, what are you doing? You don't put a book down like this down there. And I got raked up and down, and I'm inside. This is not good parenting, but I'm finding this hilarious. Because she is chastising me for it, and I knew that I'm like, yeah, because I wanted to capture this moment, so I'm going to be unkind to the spine of a book, and I get to spend a couple extra father-daughter moments. So yes, I should actually, I know, and there's a bookmark, and it's a good book too, and all that. So I can be both right and wrong at the same time. Welcome to being a parent. So that's where we get into, like I said, these books. We're going to start with this one of my favorites, The Naked Now. This was also my first book study book here at Unity by Richard Rohr. And he has this chapter, chapter 9, on not many things, but one thing. So if we're saying both and is an angle into being present, and that there is only one presence, here is, again, how either or factors into it and how we can go away from it. So he starts with a paraphrase of Luke chapter 10, verse 42. Martha, Martha, you worry about the 10,000 things. So few are needed. Indeed, only one. These well-known words come from Jesus to his dear friend Martha. He is the house guest of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. Martha is doing the reasonable, hospitable thing, rushing around, fixing, preparing, and as the text brilliantly says, distracted with all of the serving. And this hits home for me because this is usually my role when we have guests over. Or at least my anxiety tells me it's my role. Martha was everything good and right, but one thing she was not. She was not present. This is the kind of goodness that does no good. If she was not present to herself, she could not truly be present to her guests in any healing way. And spiritually speaking, she could not even be present to God. Presence is presence is presence. So we can be both present to ourselves so that we can and be present to others around us. And then that's where we get into this segment of Practical Metaphysics by Eric Butterworth. When we realize our potential, we are both unlimited and we can draw forth this unlimitless or limitless potential anytime. And I love what he says here because it's about the learning process that we all go through. And as an educator, this hit home. The learning process is a recognition of our own identity in the allness of infinite mind, where all things are present. If we understand this, then the learning process becomes simplified, and the growing process in our experiences, in our work, in our relationships, is facilitated in a far more remarkable way. In other words, learning is a matter of realizing potentialities, realizing that which has been ourselves from the very beginning of time. It's not adding to, but it's drawing forth. It's evolving that which has been involved, or as the poet Browning says, open out a way whence the imprisoned splendor may escape. Thank you, and God bless.
Okay, now is our time of quiet meditation. And I'd like to start today's meditation with a poem by Mary Oliver, which I found very relaxing. Today, I'm flying low, and I'm not saying a word. I'm letting all the voodoos of ambition sleep. The world goes on as it must. The bees in the garden rumbling a little. the fish sleeping, the gnats getting eaten, and so forth. But I'm taking the day off, quiet as a feather. I hardly move, though I'm traveling a terrific distance. Stillness, one of the doors into the temple. Stillness, one of the doors into the temple. As we relax now in body, mind, and spirit, let the sunlight of God's love wash over us and infuse our entire being with a sweet spirit of peace. My entire being opens to the love of God. The sunshine of God's love brightens my outlook and fills me with a growing faith that all is well. Secure in the love of God, I rest now in the silence. Immersed in the life of God, I fully devote myself to expressing the vitality and energy that keep me strong and whole in body, mind, and spirit. With each breath I take, I am re-energized, and revitalized. I rest now in the healing life of God, in the silence. I give thanks for the richness of nature, happy smiles, loving relationships, all the joys that make life meaningful and purposeful. With a grateful heart, I anticipate complete fulfillment as I return to the silence. As we end our time of prayerful meditation, let us count our blessings light, life, and love that are always with us. As we cultivate and nurture them, we express our true nature and fulfill our divine purpose in life. And so it is. Amen.
I am in the fire. I am in the water. I am in the wind. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. I am in the earth. I am in the heaven. I am with the sparrow. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. I am with the lion. I am with the darkness. I am in your death. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. Wherever you're going, wherever you're lost, wherever you run to, wherever you hide, there nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Now it's time for the blessing of our tithes and offerings. And while the ushers have already come forward, we invite everyone to hold their love offering for a blessing. And we invite those of you online to make your contribution at unitycr.org. So we bless these, we bless these baskets and the abundance that they will soon receive. We see them as symbols of the potential available for all of us. As we participate in the sacred act of giving and receiving, we give abundantly, we receive thankfully, and we give again generously. Please join me in our offertory statement. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
One, two, three, do, 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 do. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. Now I let go. There's nothing I fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I realize I'm only one part. I realize there's only one part. I realize there's only one part. I realize there's only one part. I realize I'm one with the one. 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 I realize I'm one with the one.
Okay, if the ushers will please face the congregation. Now we will bless these offerings. Freely we give and gratefully we receive. We dedicate and consecrate these tithes, gifts, and offerings to the will, the work, and the way of the Christ as it expresses through this ministry of love and service. And blessing our prayer intentions, we surround these members of our spiritual community who made known their prayer requests with our loving thoughts and prayers. We affirm and know that each person is blessed with wisdom and discernment, health and wholeness, and prosperity in good measure. We release these requests, trusting that all is well. Amen.
Amen.
And really quick, after service, just a reminder that the events team will meet in the strong room.
Let's all stand and join hands if you'd like, and sing our peace song. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Please begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Okay, so God is, I am, starting at C. Do a little intro. 2, 3, 4. God is in everything.